Good morning, beloveds. I am having technical difficulties right now. Um, I can't get my phone to cooperate, and so I'm doing it with the iPad. And the broadcast looked weird, and then I couldn't get the camera to set, and I'm just having a day. Um, that being said, I'm having a really good day because I got to get up and go to the park and toss peanuts to squirrels and blue jays. And then, as we're getting ready to leave the park, my partner decides to inform me that he brought his wallet, and we could, because I was, as we're leaving we're discussing breakfast, and I'm like, I really want pancakes, and he's like, well, I brought my wallet, we can stop for breakfast. And I went, done. Now, that being said, I did make really good choices. I got an omelet, I got a bowl of fruit, I got a glass of cranberry juice, and I did get a short stack of pancakes. Tom? I did get a short stack of pancakes, but he split them with me. So, all right. So our title, it is May 27th. And that is a day that is going to live in infamy because today is my ordination day. Today is the day that I take the final step into the lifelong ministry. Up to this point, I could make the decision to get out at any point, and after the ordination, because I'm about to make a commitment to do this for the rest of my life. So now I'm going to continue to do all the other random things that I do in my life, but there's that. So today is May 27th. Our title is Make No Comparisons. Our first quote is, "My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from God." And that is Psalm 62:5. If it is God's pleasure to give us the kingdom, then it should be our privilege to accept the gift. And that is from the Science of Mind text 405. I recall a very good line from Joy's Way, in which the author, Brooke Joy, writes of a revelation that came to an acquaintance of his. It was simply, make no comparisons. Unfortunately, such a solution is not often part of the way we live. Instead, we compare ourselves to others left and right. We look at their lifestyle, either seeing ourselves as better than or not as well off as they. Consequently, we lose the opportunity to savor them as human beings because the veneer of comparison gets in the way. Can we imagine what it would be like to accept all persons we meet as they truly are? Can we accept others as spiritual beings, expressive, interesting, sometimes successful, sometimes troubled, all revealing God in his or her own way? Imagine what the chances might be for giving and receiving love. The Science of Mind philosophy teaches that all life is God in form, and that all self-aware life is continually on the path of self-discovery. If we were to set aside the inclination to compare ourselves to others, consider what a fine, joyous pathway we might walk together. I release the need to compare myself to others. I accept myself and others as moving along in a spiritual pathway, all blessed and responded to by God. There is goodness, loveliness, and true wonder in all. I aim to uncover it in myself and enjoy it in my companions. And that is MS. That is Margaret Stortz. All right. So I know what she's talking about in Make No Comparisons. I'm going to go a slightly different way. Okay. What she's talking about is loving people exactly as they are. And that's one of the amazing things, because there's frequently I see a meme where it says, love people exactly as they are and watch them change. Okay? Watch them grow, because when you love them where they are, when you meet them where they are and love them exactly as who they are with no conditions on changing, people have this tendency to blossom. All right. But she says no comparisons. And we've just had this really ugly thing happen here in Texas. You know about it. And so what I'm going to remind you is make no comparisons in trauma. when bad things happen, it's still a bad thing. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. If you have suffered a trauma, do not compare your trauma to anybody else. Because the truth is, there's no way to compare it. And what it did to you, you can't compare that with somebody else's. Because frequently you'll say, well, mine is not as bad as. Okay, well, that's diminishing the pain that you have felt. That is diminishing the healing that you are doing. And so when she says make no comparisons, do it on both levels. Don't compare your joys. Don't compare your traumas, because there is no comparison. We are each our own wonderful, unique, loving, living beings, and our story is our own. And nobody can tell us how big or small we are. That's our own decision. And so, if you have been through something, don't diminish it by saying, well, it's not as bad as. Please don't do that. You have the right to experience your grief and your healing in your own way. And nobody gets to tell you how that is. Nobody gets to tell you how bad it is or how easy you have it. Don't let anybody do that to you. Make no comparisons, and don't let anybody make comparisons for you. So that's my 2 cents worth. And I think it's super important right now to understand that this situation has traumatized us all, and to not make the comparisons, and to not let anybody diminish the pain that you feel with whatever is going on with you right now. All right? Because when we do that, we don't heal. So, make no comparisons. I don't know what to do with the first one. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from God. I don't know. Go read the Psalm. It's Psalm 62. That's line 5. Read a few lines before, read a few lines, read the whole thing. Because I don't know what to do with it out of context. All right, now, the one from Science of Mind, that one's pretty incredible. If it is God's pleasure to give us the kingdom, then it should be our privilege to accept the gift. And that is the big thing there. We have to, it's like we have this amazing kingdom spread out before us. And how much are we willing to participate? How much are we willing to accept? So that's from the Science of Mind, page 405. And then I don't know who Brogue Joy is. I've never heard of Joy's Way. I might look it up after this. I recall a very good line from Joy's Way, in which the author, Brogue Joy, and it's B-R-U-G-H. Joy spelled exactly like you expect. Writes of a revelation that came to an acquaintance of his. It was simply make no comparisons. Unfortunately, such a solution is not often part of the way we live, because we are so busy comparing ourselves to each other. And we're all wonderfully unique and need to let that go. But, I mean, watch the advertisements. And that's exactly what they're encouraging us to do. Instead, we compare ourselves to others left and right. We look at their lifestyles, either seeing ourselves as better than or not as well off as they. Consequently, we lose the opportunity to savor them as human beings because the veneer of comparisons gets in the way. And I like how she says that. We forget to savor them because we're busy thinking that we're either better than them or not as good as them. And where does that get us? Because we're all different. Can we imagine what it would be like to accept all persons we meet as they truly are? And I think that's a little bit of where Tracy Brown was going when she did the soul sessions. It's like, can you imagine a world without? In her case, she was talking about racism. Can you imagine a world without sexism? Can you imagine a world without? Can you imagine accepting everybody for exactly who they are? Can we accept others as spiritual beings? Which is why every day I remind us we are beloved children of God. Expressive, interesting, sometimes successful, sometimes troubled, all revealing God in their own way. Imagine what the chances might be for giving and receiving love if we could let people be exactly who they were, who they are, all the time. And I'm looking at the transgender community, and I'm looking at the LGBTQ community, and I'm looking at women. I mean, how many times have I been told, well, you can't do that because you're a girl? What's that got to do with anything? You know? I grew up in Southern Baptist country. I grew up Catholic. At no time was I ever told I could be a minister. And guess what? I am and have been. And I happen to think I'm a darn good minister, and I'm getting better every day. So, you know, let people be who they are. The Science of Mind philosophy teaches that all life is God in form, cornerstone of our teaching. We teach that it's all God, and all self-aware life is continually on the path of self-discovery. If we were to set up the inclination to compare ourselves to others, consider what a fine, joyous pathway we might walk together. All right. So her treatment at the end is, I release the need to compare myself to others. I accept myself and others as moving along a spiritual pathway, all blessed and responded to by God. There is goodness, loveliness, and true wonder in all. I aim to uncover it in myself and enjoy it in my companions. It's Margaret Stortz. All right. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to release the need to compare ourselves. Anything. To release the need to compare anything. You know, our lifestyles, our traumas, our pains, our loves, our griefs, what we do. To recognize everybody as a beloved child of God. That's the goal. And so that's the mission today. And I'm losing my mind, which is not unusual. I'm always losing my mind, but that's how we come to our senses. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to do it. I.e. today, we took all the time in the park that we wanted. And then he took me to breakfast. That's my loving, kind, compassionate thing for myself today. I had pancakes. I don't do it often, but once in a while is good. And then all the usuals. I encourage you to drink plenty of water, to do something to engage your mind and your body. I encourage you to get, that early morning sun to reset your hormones and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now, because it's a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And yes, the world is messy. But the best thing that we can do in a messy world is to bring that breath of heaven forth from ourselves, through ourselves, to allow that state of mind, that state of consciousness, that idea of heaven to come through us out into the world. Because how else are we going to change this world? That's my suggestion. All right. There's a lot going on. Email info@creativelife.org. If you want to know what's going on, starting with, yes, my ordination is tonight. So if you haven't got that link, there's still time. You can email us. I don't know how late. It's too late to get it. You all right, baby? Yeah. Cat moved. And we also have a guest musician coming. We have the food market on tomorrow. And that starts at 11. So we're not doing it at the crack of dawn right now, but we would encourage you to wear sunscreen. Yeah, it's going to be a warm one. Okay. I don't know what else. I'm still, yeah. Have a good day. I know that the world's a mess, but I intend to have a magical day. If you can have a great day, then please do that. But if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Because you're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. So take it day by day. At this point, that's all any of us can do. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. Know that I will be back with you around 9 a.m. I might go to the park again tomorrow. I mean, I got the time. So, whatever else you do, know that you're loved. Know that you are a beloved child of God. And know that we're here for you. So, all right. I will see you next time.